Yo, 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 what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Good evening. I hope you're all doing well. What has been going on in the chart, guys? We're going to have a conversation about that. Mad love and respect to all my guys in the US. Happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day to all you guys. I hope you are spending time with your families and you ain't sat at the charts trading. But it's pretty obvious that there are a lot of guys in the US are enjoying the time to sit at the charts and trade, because this is one of the reasons as to why Bitcoin has shot up. Has anything economically been released to let us believe that the bulls are now in control? Is the dollar dominance going down? Is risk back on? Are we favoring longer term investments? So that means we're going to start putting our money into more assets that are quite volatile because we believe everything's going to be fine in the long run. Are the yields going down? Are they seeking those higher risks rather than that low risk, low return mindset? Ladies and gentlemen, we need to make sure that we are aware of the elephant in the room. 27th of July, the Fed is going to do another federal fund rate. From now until that point, we're going to start seeing some articles being pushed out on what the Fed could actually do. Fed Governor Williams put it quite clearly. They need to get real rates above zero. And that means that the Fed could, in essence, force the US into recession because they want to control inflation. Ladies and gentlemen, recession is a cyclical thing. It ain't the first time we've gone into recession. We either go into recession organically or we force ourselves into recession because the Fed wants to control inflation. You've even got JP Morgan reducing their forecasts and the outlook, saying that we are in a perilous situation and heading towards recession. So now the guys that are running the longs in the chart of Bitcoin are probably going to be thinking to themselves, yo, what's going on? Bitcoin's moving up. I don't care about the macroeconomics of what's going on, but you need to try and get it into your minds, ladies and gentlemen, that the money at the top of the chain, okay? And I'm talking interest rates, the way banks can borrow and lend money to consumers, companies, whatever the behavior and the mindset is there, is going to dictate every other asset out there. That's why it's important to pay attention to whether the Fed is being aggressive with their approach to handling inflation or not. So you got to look at it like this. If they keep inflation high and they don't act aggressively, then the idea of a recession ain't going to come into play. But then we're going to get that squeeze. Oil's going to go up. Traders are going to seek that safety, and they'll always go to commodities. Then you're going to get that pressure. Fuel prices are going to be flying through the roof. Someone put an article out saying that the potential for oil to be $380 a barrel is something that could actually happen. $380 a barrel. Do you understand what that means, ladies and gentlemen? That is unbelievable. People are going mad on oil being $110. Look. People are going mad on this. $110 a barrel. Back in 2008, ladies and gentlemen, oil topped out at around $147 a barrel. Where is it? There it is right there. Where is it? Go back. Monthly time frame, 2007, 2008, subprime mortgage crisis. Oil itself, $147 a barrel before it actually tanked to the downside. From that point, the S&P actually dropped nearly 54%. S&P right now is only down about 25, 26%. We've got to be aware, ladies and gentlemen, that unless you pay attention to the bigger picture, you're going to miss the boat, because you're going to end up being the traders that are caught out in these scenarios where you see Bitcoin make a nice little move to the upside and you're thinking to yourself, yeah, happy days. Now, don't get it twisted, ladies and gentlemen. I'm all for the idea of Bitcoin being the greatest hedge against inflation. Now would be the time for Bitcoin to show its worth. Looking at the chart, guys, you can see bright as day that Bitcoin looks like it's formulating this structure. Now, from now until the 27th of July, what could Bitcoin do? Could Bitcoin come all the way back up? Probably. Look in the charts, and you're probably going to see some vector candles in those zones. Right here. Happy days. You got a vector point right there. Well, we've already recovered that point, to be frank with you, so there's not that much of that zone left. So if we look at it closely, we can see that Bitcoin has got just that little zone right there of vector candles to recover in the visible range. I'm not going to start looking at all these candlesticks up here just yet because Bitcoin ain't even nowhere near them. Bitcoin's move today has been welcomed by many traders, and I hope that you've paid yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. But this move has only happened because New York hasn't had that standard Brinks box madness reversal kind of game. where we expect the volume to come in and take out the guys who favored one direction against the other. You see, Mr. Market Maker is always going to be fulfilling his obligation to the exchanges, and that is to make sure that he maintains the idea of liquidity flow. Many green vector candles are currently in this zone, ladies and gentlemen, and usually when we see price move away from the psychological ranges at the start of the week, it usually dictates the idea that they're going to continue with that narrative. But because of the biggest elephant in the room, given that the Fed is likely to get very aggressive with their rates of inflation, rates of interest to handle the idea of inflation, now they're going to start to install the idea of recession. And JP Morgan said it. If we are heading towards recession, just because it came from JP Morgan, that's going to have a big impact on the rest of the trading world, the rest of the investment world, the rest of the institutional fund managers in the same line of work as JP Morgan. So you've got to say to yourself, if I'm in longs right now, do I pay myself? But ladies and gentlemen, that's not a financial advice. I'm merely bringing you into the understanding that you don't want to get trapped out in the idea that once you see price action moving up, you dismiss the idea that it could be because Bitcoin is now taking its own route. Bitcoin isn't exotic. Bitcoin is still new. There is a lot of scrutiny behind cryptocurrency. Traders come to cryptocurrency for volatility. At the end of the day, these hedge funds, these market makers, money managers, banks, they are going to use the legacy assets, Forex, commodities, bonds, stocks. They're going to do what works. Bitcoin ain't there yet, ladies and gentlemen, but Bitcoin will get there. This would be the first time that cryptocurrency in principle, Mark, correct me if I'm wrong, but really the first time Bitcoin has experienced such a mad time in terms of the economy. Because back when it happened, Bitcoin was still new. It wouldn't have mattered if you held Bitcoin or not, because it was still a new market. Bitcoin didn't do anything during the subprime mortgage crisis. Bitcoin weren't even around. Okay? So going into tonight, ladies and gentlemen, one thing that we must be aware of is this. Bitcoin has moved aggressively in towards the 200 EMA. That's important. Now, if we're going to see some proof of the move, we want to see Bitcoin come down and test key notable areas, because there's not been that much volume to cause this move to the upside. Okay? So be mindful of that, ladies and gentlemen. Now, going into tonight, wait for Asia to react to price action. All right? Very important that you wait for Asia to react, because then you'll understand if this move right here is going to follow through to the upside. They would merely bring it back down to test the narrative to continue back up. It's a sharp move, ladies and gentlemen. So just be cautious, take your profits if you've made money, and wait for the proof of the move. All right? Just be mindful with it. Ladies and gentlemen, mad love and respect, and thank you very much if you have been watching. I'm sorry if I've taken any of your time, but I thought I'd better get something out to you guys just so that you are fully aware of what to anticipate moving forward. If you are new to the channel, be sure to like and subscribe, because we will be bringing that fire tomorrow for you, ladies and gentlemen, to bring in the New York Open. We have ourselves a lot of news announcements coming out this week, guys, and we're going to be busy in the Traders Reality channel. I'll be trying to stream during all of these moments. The jobs opening at 3 p.m. And we got the Fed's meeting minutes happening at 7 p.m. as well. We got non-farm payrolls, the employment change. And then we got Bullard speaking yet again. And then we've got Friday, which is always one of the best days for Forex, because it's non-farm payroll day. And it's always done on the first Friday of every new month. This is going to tell us how aggressive the Fed is going to be in relation to their management of inflation. Mad love and respect to you, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out tomorrow's New York Open. Take care yourselves, family. Peace.